But thank you, everyone. Again, I'm Reverend Tamara Rossander, and I'm just thrilled to have each one of you here with us. And thank you for all our Zoom people as well for showing up today on Father's Day. As today can be a bit of a challenging day for some. There's all sorts of fathers. There's absent fathers. There's abusive fathers. There's fathers in spirit. You know, everybody has their own father and their own story. But there's also those wonderful fathers, or those wonderful masculine energy people that come into our lives and hold our hand and lift us up. So let's celebrate those men that come and do that and support people in loving and kind ways, because we definitely need more of those in the world. Reverend Kathy Ann Lewis from Seattle wrote a poem that I'd like to share, because I think it speaks to us parents. Your parents are not your parents. They are the channels through which life recreated itself. You came through them, but not from them. You may receive their love, but not their thoughts, for their thoughts are from their time. New thoughts must be generated within you now for this time and place. For life does not go backwards or become trapped in yesterday. You are the product of the generation upon generations of humankind longing to give their children a better life than they had. You've done nothing by yourself, even if you may seem so, for the prayers and petitions of millions of mothers crying out to the infinite to bless and protect their children have been heaped upon you. And the pride and the faith of millions of fathers in their offspring continues to inspire you at a deep cellular level. Don't let their praise, prayers, and faith be in vain. Receive with humble acceptance the blessings of the ancients, and then be sure to pass it on. I thought that was really a beautiful way to start out this morning in honoring our parents. So today, we get to talk about personalizing the infinite. So I was looking long and hard at this topic and trying to come up and things, and I've had a few things happen this week that really, really nailed it home for me. And I was really fortunate this whole week, actually. I'm still kind of a little bit on cloud nine, everybody. And thank you again for the practitioners and everyone who came out to support our installation ceremony last week. We had 95 people, which was amazing, and the support and love of so many people who made the day happen. And the day before that, I had a wedding of a dear friend. And then Monday, I needed a day off. So my husband took me boating, and it was a fabulous day. And then Wednesday, I got to go see a fabulous musician. I don't know if any of you have heard of Seal. Yes, right? Kiss from a Rose, Prayer for the Dying, Don't Be So Hard on Yourself. I just love that song. And what really nailed this talk down for me was when he was on stage and his gentle, loving manner that he spoke about oneness, about we're all brothers, we're all sisters, we're all here connected to each other. And I started filming. It's what he was saying. I'm like, well, this is good stuff. But it's this philosophy. He was talking science of mind. He was talking what we all here get to experience together all the time. So it is out there. Our new thought philosophy as science of mind is a philosophy, a way of life, a faith. It is rippling out into the world. And I think we're so fortunate that we get to be here together to practice, to do our spiritual practice together. So even going to a concert and listening to somebody else say the words that I was looking for was just such a demonstration of prayer and of my spiritual practice. And then the other thing that happened was that, I'll back up a bit. So it's been a week. So it's been fabulous. But what I want to, with the infinite, as human beings, we are all individual entities. Despite this, we're all cells that form the wholeness. So to personalize the possibility of the infinity, you must first realize that you are one with the universe. That higher self is in you, and you are one with it. Now, if you look at our Declaration of Principles, I don't know if any of you get the Science of Mind magazine, but it's in the very beginning. And I love our Declaration of Principles because they start with what we believe. What we believe. So we believe in the individualization of the spirit in us, and that all people are individualizations of the one spirit. We are all that, and a bag of chips. So, this knowledge is more important, this conviction that makes it endearing to our heart's desire. In simple terms, when you become aware that you are one as spirit, you've accepted the idea that you are part of the universe, and that you begin to think and act as that powerful being that you are. You begin to manifest the infinite possibilities that you have only imagined before. So, we are one with the universe, and being with the universe is unifying the spiritual and the physical. In this concept, you realize that you are spirit, and spirit is you. And any higher force out there is in you. So no impossibility can hinder you from achieving your goal and becoming the person you desire to be. So yesterday, I had the distinct pleasure to go down to CSL Bellingham. And there, they were paneling 4 brand new practitioners. And Jill and I went down. We had Amanda Pope from CSL Nanaimo and Derek Henchcliffe, who's going to be speaking here on July 9th. And there was 2 other ministers, one from Cedro Woolley and one from Mount Vernon. So we got to interview these lovely 4 amazing, they were all women who we interviewed. And that to me is the heart and the soul of how they showed up in the questions that they answered and the spiritual mind treatments. Hopefully everybody knows here at CSL White Rock, we pray as an affirmative prayer, as a spiritual mind treatment. And it was just such a demonstration of that. You could see the flow of life going through them. And you could feel their hearts. You could just sense how dedicated they are to this teaching and to learning prayer and to helping others and to spread the word. So to me, that was such a demonstration of the one. The second point I want to make is our thoughts control the personalization of the infinite. So when we start thinking like powerful, unlimited beings that we are, ensure that your thoughts match this belief. If your thoughts were centered around not being good enough, not meeting up to standards, it's imperative to eliminate those thoughts. Those thoughts that make you see yourself as less than who you are really only blocks to your good. The division between body and spirit brings limitations in the manifestation of infinite potential. And that's what I loved about Diane's meditation today and Lauren's first song. So Diane, there was a line in there, I'm hoping I'm going to get it right, but it was about how we connect to the one and we're aligning to that spirit, to that source. There was a piece before that. But it's when we can accept that good that we are, that we can remember that we are one with that one. When we can step out of the ego thinking, the, oh my goodness, thinking that I can't do this or I'm not good enough, whatever it is for you, you can just tell that little SHI committee to shh, because we don't need that. You know, if we can feel those, turn those thoughts around, consider that we are that divine spirit. We are human, right? But first, we're spirit. We're spirit having this human experience. So knowing that we are one with that one, knowing that anything, there's the unlimited possibility. It's just when we set our mind to what it is that we want. So I'm going to touch on, you're saying, yeah, that's great. Okay, I love that idea that I can just change, they say in Science of Mind, change your thought, change your thinking, change your life. And sometimes we're like, wow, that might work for Jill or Diane. They're practitioners, but it's not going to work for me, right? But the thing is, it will. It will work for you. You are assured of a demonstration of life. And it may not be the demonstration that you're looking for at certain times, but there's always a gift in it. There's always a gift. And those doubts that are detrimental to the infinite personalization, remove all doubt from your mind. Generally, doubt sets in as a chain of negative thoughts that become emotions. When you're set and grounded in the truth of the divine love of the universe lives in you, then you know without a doubt that you're here to manifest your heart's desires, because those desires come from the spirit within, wanting you to experiencing that fullest life. The fullest life. But be mindful of the doubt in your mind that can cause the blocking and flow of ease and grace. And know that we want to live as that infinite personalization of the living spirit. So I was out for dinner last night. I know it sounds like I'm really busy, but I'm not. It was just a week. And I started having this conversation. First, somebody asked me, oh, what do you do? And I'm like, yeah, I'm a minister. Usually that shuts the conversation down a little quickly. But the gentleman in the room said, oh, I'm taking classes at UBC. I'm studying to be a minister as well. He's with the United Church. And so we started chatting. And so I was like, okay, this evening's going to be a little different than I thought, because they're brand new people we hadn't hung out with before. And then we're sitting down and we're playing a game over dinner. And we started talking about especially the doubt that creeps into our minds when we think that we can't do something, or that we think that we're not making a difference in the world. And where it's the little things. It's not the big grandiose things. Sometimes, I don't know if you've done this, but I've stopped myself from having a dream or doing something that really meant a lot to me because I was afraid. And that this little thing was not going to make any changes in the world, that it was just going to be, just another thing. But the thing is, I don't know how that little thing, that kind word, that little project, a meditation, whatever it is that calls to me, that brings me joy and brings me alive in life, will affect somebody else. I don't know, have any of you ever been in like a coffee shop or Starbucks and somebody ahead of you's paid for your coffee? Yes? No? Yes? or have you ever paid for somebody's coffee? Yes, we've got people doing that, right? And have you ever had somebody just come up to you who didn't know you from Sophia? I don't know why that name came to me, but anyways, and said, oh my, you're just radiating today. You look beautiful, or I love your hair, or, there's just something about you. And it kind of lifts you up, and you feel that sense of aliveness that, oh, somebody noticed me, or somebody did something nice for me. So again, when we do those random acts of kindness ourselves, we can imagine how it feels when somebody does it for us. But when we go out and do it for somebody else, right? We don't know the impact that we're going to have. And I know that I've done it. I was my son was dating a young lady who worked at Starbucks. And there was a change. She was telling me about one day, there was 10 people in a row that paid for the person behind or in front of them coffee, or whatever. I guess it's because they were through the drive-through, so it had to be the person behind them. And how amazing is that? And so she came home all bubbling, or over to our house, and was telling me about it. And I thought, that is the world I want to live in. I want to live in the world where people show up for each other, where people are willing to step out of their comfort zone and be kind and generous. But that is all here, and that is that invitation for each of us to, when there's something that you're doing and you may think it's small, whether you're volunteering at hospice, dropping something off at the food bank, whatever it is for you, whatever that is that lights you up, that puts a smile on your face, know that it's doing it for somebody else. And maybe it's volunteering at CSL, doing setup and sound. I don't know. Let me know. That would put a smile on my face. But that's the thing. It's stepping out of our own way. Because, or what did Reverend Terry used to always say? It was like he was stepping on the fire. We'd block our good by stepping, the fire hose is going, the water's coming out, or the hose, and he'd step on the hose and it would stop the flow of water. And that's sometimes what we do with our good. We step on that hose and it just goes, stop. But then we step off it and life flows again. And life flows again. So what I invite you for this next week is to harness your full potential, to be in complete conviction in self, in compassion, in love, that you are one. Elimination of doubt is imperative for the personalization of the infinite. But you can be what you want to be. You can have what you want to have. But you must be beyond belief. We need to get rid of those self-limiting doubts, those limiting thoughts in our head. But embracing the truth, and that's what's going to empower each of us to step out into the world in the way that we want to show up. Whether you want to learn to paint, whether you want to learn to drum, whether you want to learn to sing, whether you just want to learn to walk in high heels without falling over. Whatever it is for you, again, I can't emphasize that enough, because we're all, again, that unique individualization of the one. And we all have those special gifts and talents within us. And we gotta let them out, people. We gotta let them out. So know that you're more than your emotions. You're more than those limiting beliefs. You are powerful beyond measure. And I'm stealing words there from Marianne Williamson. But you are. Each one of this. I look out in the room here and the beaming faces, and I wish I could see all you people on Zoom. I'll turn a little bit there. But the love that you can even feel from the Zoom to this room is palpable. It's so lovely. So I'll end with an Ernest Holmes quote. He says, "The infinite is personal to every soul that believes in the infinite." And that's on The Science of Mind, page 192. So let's take that into prayer. So knowing that there is one life, one love, one universal divine mind, and that is operating right here, right now, through each and every person on Zoom, through each and every person here in person, and knowing that direct connection with that source, with that divine spark. We are the divine spark. We have that creative source flowing through us. And it is when we take that breath and tune in and listen to our heart, to that open heart that knows the truth. When we stay present and not worry about what happened yesterday or what's going to happen tomorrow, just be here right now. And as you breathe and maybe listen in and see if there's that small voice that says, you belong. You are loved. You are loving. You are love expressed in this world. So today I claim that love. I claim that joy. I claim letting my heart sing. Because I know this for myself. I know it for each of you here today. That there is that infinite possibility waiting to express as you, as me. And we are I claim today the change that we want to see in the world, that we start to ripple out by following our hearts and knowing that we are love expressed. I'm so grateful for this day. I'm so grateful for this time together, this community, this connection, the love that is here. I'm so grateful to walk this path with others. So in love, grace, and gratitude, I let these words flow to the law of mind, knowing right action is already happening. It's already so. And I ask you to join me in saying, and so it is.